today we are going to do volume practice, part 3. The first one we did sticky dot or like double-sided tape. The second one we did on-strip fanning, and today we are going to do the pinching method, which by the way is my least favorite and the one that I use the least. So if I'm not that good at it, I'm very sorry. This is why this is practice. And it's just the purpose is to really show that there is more than one right way to do things. And I'll go into why I don't prefer this method. There's a lot of reasons, but it's not that it's inferior. I just don't prefer it. And so if you prefer it, that's fine too. So without further ado, I guess I'll give you guys a minute to get all your stuff ready. I have a bunch of tweezers. I have a bunch of lashes in different diameters. I have 0.07s, 0.05s, and 0.03s. And I have a tile, and I have gloves, and I have my magnifiers. I may or may not wear them. Rosario says I never use it. Neither do I, but a lot of people do, and a lot of people who are amazing at doing volume do use it. So I think it would be good to at least cover it and practice it, because it never hurts to have more than one method in your tool belt. Hey Louise, Naoko, welcome back. Yeah, it never hurts to have more than one method in your tool belt. I usually use on-strip fanning, but it's good to know how to do wiggle technique. It's good to know how to do the sticky dot technique, because you never know. Sometimes your lashes and your tools are working with you. Sometimes it feels like they're working against you. So it really is good to have. Louise says, hey. Rosario says, I know how to do it. I just don't use it. Yes, and that's kind of the same as me. One of the first courses I took was teaching me how to use pinching method. So I know in theory how to do it, but because I haven't used it, I never really developed the skill for it so much, as like not as naturally as someone who uses it all the time. Louise says, I can't stay, but we'll pop back later. And hearts, yes, I miss you, Louise. I haven't talked to you in so long. I did send you a message the other day, so check your Facebook messages, because I have some questions for you. I haven't spoken to you in a while, so please do check your message. Get back to me. Let me know. I know you get like a billion messages a day, so it's in there somewhere. If you need me to bump it back to the top, just let me know and I'll do it. Naoko says, it's weird. I can't hear your voice, but everyone else can. Check, Naoko, if you're on your phone or on your whatever device you're on. Check if you have the sound on. There should be like a little speaker with an X or a speaker with a thing. Candace says, try to restart the Facebook app. Mine does this sometimes. Yeah, we had this problem last time too. Thank you, Candace. I am going to now move you guys over to my workstation where I have all my stuff set up. So I hope you guys have all your things set up. As I mentioned, I have tweezers, a bunch of different tweezers. I have a tile. I have lashes of 3 different diameters, and I have my gloves. So let's get started. That's all my garbage from last time. Like this little sticky tape is where I stick all my garbage. Okay, let me know if you guys can all see properly. I don't have any lashes on my tile yet, so I want to try and get this as close up as I can. And these are all like my practice lashes, so I really don't use these ones. I use these brands on my clients, but I'm not using this tray on my clients. I'm just gonna put some lashes down. I do find that if you're just starting, 0.07s or 0.10s are the easiest to start learning how to fan with. So let's start with those. And the reason I said to have gloves is because, you know, I always teach when you're lashing to have gloves on. And it's even more important. Hey, Carmen. Hey, Mary. And it's even more important now if you do use the pinching method, because otherwise you're getting your skin cells and your oils all over the lashes and then putting them on your clients. So I have a lot of people asking me if it's possible to do pinching method with gloves on, and my answer to that is always yes. It does take a little bit of getting used to, and you do have to find the right fitting gloves. But some of you guys already know that I co-organized the Royal Canadian Lash Championships, and the first year that we had it, the first place winner of the volume category was wearing gloves and using the pinching method. So yes, it is absolutely, not only is it possible to do it, I get chills seeing people do pinch without gloves. Yeah. I try not to judge, but I don't prefer it. I don't like lashing without gloves on at all, even if I'm not using pinching methods. So, you guys obviously know I'm not working on a client right now, so I'm just going to wear a glove on one hand, like Michael Jackson, and hopefully this is close enough for you guys to see. Hey, Valerie. So first, let's try doing this with my Dumonts. Like I said, this isn't, Candace, I'm a judger. I'm not judging you for judging. So I don't know how well you guys can see, but my screen is distorted so that everything is super long and wide. Not long, so everything's super wide. So if you guys need me to zoom in or anything, or if you can't see properly, please let me know so that I'm aware of it, because otherwise I will not know. So the idea of pinching is to grab it without even fanning, just however many lashes that you plan on fanning. And then you want to, I'm just seeing what you guys can see. And you want to have, how am I going to do this? So you want to have like this straight line here and a perpendicular line, which is your tweezers. And you stick your lashes in and you loosen your grip on your tweezers a little bit. You're not really like pinching, like moving your fingers much. You're more just holding the lashes there while you loosen your grip on your tweezers. Does that make sense? Can you guys see this? And then when you get your lashes the way you want them fanned, you just tighten your grip again on your tweezers. Like my base here looks terrible, but you guys get the idea. This base sticking out here is not good, but that's also something that you can fix when you dip into your adhesive, which I'm not doing right now. So let me know if you can see everything. I know you can't see me grabbing that. I should put my lashes down lower. Okay. So I'm just going to grab a whole bunch. Tweezers are very important too, because you want to make sure that your tweezers are capable of holding the fan as well. So it's kind of like you combine a couple of different techniques when you're doing wiggle, because your fingers pinching it is holding it there, but you still kind of have to manipulate the lashes with your tweezers as if you're doing a wiggle technique. So as I said, my screen is showing me very distorted images right now of what you guys are seeing. So I hope you guys are seeing things normally. Kylie says, I feel like pinching is the hardest techniques for me, and it takes so long for me to get a good fan. I should practice. Yes, which is what we're doing now, Kylie. It is also one of the hardest ones for me to learn as well, probably because I don't do it enough. I feel like if I practice more at it, then I would be better, obviously, because practice makes perfect. But at the same time, one of the reasons I did promise to tell you guys the reasons I don't like using pinching technique. One of the reasons is because I don't like to isolate with one hand. When you're doing pinching, you're using both your hands, right? So you're pinching your fan, and then when you get the perfect fan that you like and you want to use, you have one of your tweezers occupied with your fan, right? So then you only have one hand to isolate perfectly the lash that you want to place it on. And I am not great at isolating with one hand. And so I don't prefer this technique. That's one of the main reasons. Another reason is probably because it takes me so long to get a fan that I like. Hey, Christine. It does take me a long time. It takes me a lot longer to do pinching method, probably because I'm not that good at it. And it takes me much quicker to do some of the other techniques that I like. Kylie says, I agree, and I make the fan for the lash that I have isolated first. Yes, same. I do that too. I customize each and every fan to the lash that I am lashing. So to make a fan ahead of time and then find a lash, for me, doesn't make sense. Naoko says, weird, I restarted my phone and checked all the volumes, but still no sound. For some reason, I'll just catch it later. Something wrong with my end. Sorry about that. I mean, you can, I guess I can't answer questions. I was like, you can still say and ask questions over text, but then you won't hear me when I answer until you watch the replay. Another reason that I don't love the pinching method is because as I mentioned before, I like to start my fan as low to the base as possible. So I find that a lot of pinching fans have a really long stem, which is not my preference. Some people like it and some people don't. Not my personal preference. Also, I had another reason just now, but I don't remember what it is. Oh, also something else that I've mentioned in past videos before as well is I like to make my fan and have it stay there, and I can go out for coffee, come back, and it'll still be there. I don't like to have to be quick, like, okay, grab it. It looks perfect now, grab it. With pinching, you kind of have to do that. But I do like the fact that I can manipulate it more and more if I need to, but I can also do that on a double-sided tape. So I personally don't love this technique, but I do think it's important to know how to do it. How's it going so far, guys? What tweezers are you guys using? What tools have you guys found that you like to use? Because everyone's preference is different. Dumonts are usually my favorite for most fanning techniques. I just like how sharp they are and how precise they are. But they do need to be hand tested. So these ones that I'm using right now are Dumonts. These particular ones, I don't know what you guys can see because right now my screen is distorted and super long. So I'm just going to guess. These are one of my favorite Dumonts. I believe I got these particular ones from the Lash collection. But I do like to hand test each and every pair of tweezers that I get. So let me know what tweezers you guys are using. These ones, I just switched tweezers to see if I like these ones for pinching method. These are tweezers that I got from Featherlight Lashes. Hi, Linda. Welcome, welcome. We are just doing a volume fanning practice session. Yeah, so these are new tweezers that I just got from, not just, but like a couple months ago. Got from Featherlight Lashes in, I think they're in Alberta. I could be wrong, but I think they're in Alberta. I saw them here at the spa show. It was super cool, and it was nice to have like one last hurrah before we all went into isolation. Oh, okay, good. Nayoko, now it's working. Awesome. So the concept of doing pinching method is that you have your lashes and then you have to have like a perpendicular line. So you have this line going this way of both your fingers, and then you have the straight across line of your tweezers, and you want to stick your lashes in, lighten your grip on your tweezers a little bit, fluff them up the way you want. Sometimes they fluff up nicely right away. Sometimes you need to kind of faff around with them. Hey, Jackie. Nice to see ya. And you can do narrow and you can do wide. Right now, these all look wide to me because my screen is highly distorted. Melissa says, I haven't made a fan yet. I would use. I have the same Dumonts as you and a few pairs from My Lash Obsession. I have actually not ordered anything from My Lash Obsession yet, but I've seen them around. So I don't know if you guys can actually see this fan for what it is or if you're seeing the distorted version. I am seeing the distorted version, but in reality, this fan is actually quite narrow. And this is one of the reasons I don't prefer this method, is that the base is very stemmy. I have seen like mega volume fans that people have made with pinching method that are really big, but usually they like waterfall out. Let me see if I can make that happen. They're like, they completely waterfall out, which is also not a look that I prefer. I can't even do it if I tried. Oh, so that's, well, this one's like completely out, but I see a lot of mega volume fans that are completely waterfalled out, and that's not my preference for a look. I feel like it looks messy. I like more neater fans, but they also take longer to make. Melissa says, I won a, oh, you won the bid for Trisha's fundraiser. Oh, nice. So you already got all your products. That's awesome. That was really fun when we did that fundraiser with the auction items. There was a lot of really good stuff. I really wanted to bid for the tattoo package, but they were not local to me, so that did not quite work out so well for me. So you guys tell me how it's going so far. Tell me if you have any questions. Right now I'm using tweezers that I got from Featherlight Lashes. I actually quite like these. Not only do I love the color, I love the color of tweezers like this. I like the angle. It's a little bit different from what I'm used to using, but I do force myself to try different angled tweezers just to make sure that I can work with them. And I do encourage you guys to do the same. Try different tweezers, try different tools, because you might have a favorite, and that's fine to have a favorite, but there's always like other good stuff out there that you might like as well. Hey Vivian, thanks for joining. Yeah, like I said, it's not my favorite method, but it's good to know. One thing that I do like about it is how thin you can get the base when you're doing the pinching method. And I like watching it. It's almost like watching a flower bloom, you know? Okay, that one totally died. Hey girl, hey, Vivian. How are you? I feel like I haven't talked to you in a really long time. All right, let's try a different pair of tweezers. Let's try, these are from Mint Lashes. The curvature is more curvy than the Dumont. Hey Katie, hey Amy. If you guys are just joining, we're just doing a pinching method practice And tweezers are just very much personal preference. Same as, got that one weird one there. Same as volume techniques. It's just a very personal preference. Some techniques and some tools work better with some brands of lashes, if that makes sense. Like there's some brands of lashes that I've tried that really only work well or work best with wiggle technique. Or there are some that work really well with like on strip lashing. Naoko says, is that the tweezer that came in the Beauty Pro box last year? Yes, it is. This is one of them. We had this one with the curved, this guy with the 45-degree angle short tip. And then we had an isolation tweezer. Good memory. And they all came with a magnetic tweezer case. Okay, Vivian's asking, do other people balance their pinky on the hand while pinching? I don't know. Is that what I was doing? I'm just gonna try and plug this in without moving it too much. Is that what I was doing? I didn't notice whether or not I was doing that. Oh yeah, I was doing that. I would think so. I'm not a fan pincher, just a bum pincher. Yep, you are. Yeah, I don't know if other people balance their pinky, but I do, because otherwise I can't just float. I balance my pinky on everything. Even when I'm placing on my client, I balance my pinky on them as well, which is another good reason to wear gloves when you're working on clients. The reason I'm only wearing a glove on my pinching hand is just to show that you can still do pinching method with a glove on. I'm not wearing a glove on this hand today only because I'm not actually working on a client. If I were working on a client, I would be wearing gloves on both hands. I do love watching them open though when you're pinching them. It is quite nice. Let's see, let's try these guys. These guys are the inner corner tweezers. I actually have a feeling that these ones might not be as great for pinching method, only because the tip is so small. So these are inner corner tweezers that I got from the Lash Shop in California. Oh my god, you guys. A giant spider just crawled. I just see a giant spider on my floor right now. And I don't know what to do. Oh my god. It's coming towards me. I need like a giant cup or something to put over it. Get away! Okay, let me just, you guys talk amongst yourselves while I freak out a little bit. Yeah, you guys just talk amongst yourselves. I'm just gonna go and die. I'm gonna text my husband and see, step on it. I'm in my office, I'm not wearing shoes. I'm not going to step on it. I am going to text my husband, blow air at it, and then what? So I'm texting my husband to ask if he's home, because if he is, he needs to come and save my life. I need like a cup or something to put over it, but I'm like scared to move. Burn the whole house down is the only way. Maybe it'll run off the other way. You're not wrong. I am going to take off my mic. So you guys will still probably hear me, but I'm going to take off my mic. I'm going to go and get a cup and try and put the cup over it so that it can be safely not able to attack me. One moment, guys. Keep practicing. Okay, I have a cup, but I don't want to go near it. I don't want to go like anywhere near it. Okay, pray for me. Do you guys actually want to see this happening? This is how horror movies start. I'm telling no, don't do it at the screen. Don't do it. Do you guys actually want to see the action? I can turn my, okay, you know what? Let's actually see what's happening. If you see my feet, I'm sorry. I'm not wearing socks or anything because I'm at home in my office. Okay. There it is. Live Facebook death. Thank you, Naoko. Pray for me. Oh my god, I don't want to go near it. I'm so scared. I hate spiders. Okay, I'm gonna do it, guys. I think my husband just came home. BB? B? Are you home? Quick!
What?
I need you to come save my life.
Come to what?
I need you to come save my life. I'm on the live right now. And do you see it? Can you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Thank you. Oh. I was in the middle of my live when it started. I saw it in the corner of my eye, and squish it with the glove. No, thank you. Yeah, I was in the middle of my live, and we were doing the live practice when I saw it in the corner of my eye, and I was like, "Oh my god, what is that?" Can you? Are you gonna leave it here?
I just got home. Let me put my stuff away.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Crisis averted, guys. You can slide paper underneath and throw it outside. It'll just run off. Yeah, that's probably what we will do, is throw it outside or... I'm not touching it, though. That's not going to be me. That's for sure. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program, guys. Sorry for that little interruption. But, you know, that's just life, I guess. I'm going to actually move it over so I don't accidentally kick the cup. It was like pretty big too. Oh geez. Okay. Well, that was fun. That was really fun, guys. Okay. Let's continue. We were about to use these inner corner tweezers from the last shop from Stephanie, and let's try them out. I think I need to raise that up a bit. There we go. Oh, they do work pretty well for this. I wasn't sure only because the grabbing tip was so short. Not bad. I don't know about doing megas with these, but see how many we can do. To be honest, I'm not a huge fan of mega volumes to begin with. Like mega volumes where you have like 25 lashes on one. I think that there's a maximum to how many you can wrap around a natural lash, to be honest. My opinion. Wow, this was real life, guys. It doesn't get more real than that, does it? Yeah, not bad. Maybe for narrow fence. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I moved it over because I didn't want to accidentally kick it and knock it over. Oh my god, that thing's fast too. Be careful. What? You want them to see it? Do you guys want to see the spider? Sure. Why don't you come closer and show them? Here, I'll move this out of the way. Just like, oh my god. No, it's here. It's not selfie mode. So there it is. That's what tried to kill me today. Yep. And he's freaking fast. Get him out of my sight. No, no, no. He's hereby exiled. Banished from the realm. Okay. What are you saying, Vivian? Try short. Can you try short fans? Like 8mm? Sure. Let's try short fans like 8mm. Hey, Joy. Thanks for joining. We're doing pinching method today, which is something that it seems like not a lot of us do because a few people have already said that they don't prefer this method. But I do see a lot of people using it. So, okay, let's try 8mm. If I can get them out. And these are decurls. So, okay, 8mm. Let's try them. Never done it before. Yeah, it's not something, it's something that I learned in my, I think, 3rd volume class. I went to Seattle and took a course from Nadia from New York. And one of the techniques she taught was pinching. So let's try this with 8mm, like Vivian was suggesting. And Joy, you just missed like huge action. There was a spider here that just tried to kill me. But luckily it was caught. Oh my god. I'm not good with spiders. I don't know about this, Vivian. I'm like failing very badly. Oh, here we go. Here's like a narrow 8mm fan in a decurl. Yeah, if you watch the replay, Joy, you'll see the spider. Like, it was this big saga, and it was like I just saw it crawling towards me, and I freaked out. Like, I froze for maybe like a good 2 minutes before I was like, okay, you know what? I need to like go get a cup and trap it, which is what happened. Spoiler alert. And then, oh no, you know what? My husband came home with good timing. Yeah, it's true. Joy, you guys have way bigger spiders in Australia. Mind you, when I was there last year, a year and a half ago, I didn't see any. Maybe it wasn't the right season for spiders, but I was quite happy to report that I did not see any spiders. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if these... I mean, it's probably just me. It's me and it's not the tweezers. Okay, so this is a decurl 8mm. The fan's not great. You're glad I didn't kill it. I'm glad it didn't kill me. Oh. Yeah, that was fun. We're just gonna relocate it. Because they are good for the environment. Like, they eat other pests like mosquitoes, which I really hate mosquitoes. How's it going with your fanning practice, ladies? I know we have gentlemen in this group too, but I haven't seen any pop on yet, so. Hope we are able to get more gloves by the time we open them. I actually bought a couple of boxes before everything locked down. So I do have a couple of boxes here. Or have you not been able to get any, Vivian? Details Beauty Supply in Langley is where I got mine. And I think they are still open online for online shopping. You know, I'm not hating these fans. The thing is, I don't like how long the base is, but other than that, I'm not hating these fans. Oh, you only have like 4 boxes. You know what? So do I, but I'm a solo and you have staff, so it is very different because you go through a lot more gloves than I would. Joy says, I'm gonna make a whole heap of fans today. Been keeping busy flipping heaps of stuff on eBay the last few weeks. Oh! Just like, what do you mean flipping stuff? Like buying and then reselling? Well, like what kind of stuff? That's interesting. And it sounds like something that would really keep you busy. I think it would be a lot better if I was wearing my magnifiers. You know, there's a lot of really amazing lash artists that don't wear magnifiers, and I just don't know how they do it. Maybe they're just not as old as I am, but I don't know how. Yeah, I'm not like completely hating these fans. Yeah, we've tried quite a few different tweezers now. Different lengths. We went from 13 millimeters to 8 millimeters. Hope you guys can see what's happening here. Are you gonna make the fans to use for your clients or just for practice, Joy? Because I know a lot of people are taking these practice sessions and they're actually dipping them in adhesive and pro making their fans. That's not my preference personally, but I mean, it's not a bad idea. Lashes aren't cheap, and I always recommend that people practice with the lashes that they intend on using. So it's a good way to not be wasting your products like I am. Not that I'm wasting my products, but you know what I mean. Yeah, pre-made and pro-made fans are not my preference, but there are practical uses and applications for them. Like if I was doing a portfolio set of lashes where I didn't really care about retention as long as they look good for the photo, then I can see myself making a whole bunch of pro-made fans and using those just to make the appointment quicker. I also had one client that was really sensitive to adhesives, so I had to use like a sensitive adhesive on her that's not very good, and so there was one day I was getting really frustrated with, not frustrated, with the time it took to adhere, and I did pull out some pre-made fans, and I mean it did its job, but it didn't retain very well. Massage tables, chairs, and stools. Oh, okay, so you've been flipping massage tables, chairs, and stools. Interesting. Oh, the ones that aren't your favorite wardrobe items and random things that you hoarded for no good reason. There's always a good reason to hoard things, isn't there? A lot more salons use pre-made and pro-made for service time. Yeah, I don't judge people who use them, and there's a lot of differing opinions about pre-mades and pro-mades right now. It's almost like this divide between people who hand make and people who use pre-made. My opinion on that is that pre-made fans are fine to use as long as you are aware of what is safe to use for volume. So I would prefer if people who used pre-mades were trained in volume so that they know safety limits. So I don't think it's the fault of the product. I think it's more who's using it. I like to save them to use later when I'm running out of time. Oh, okay, yeah, you're right. It is good when you're running out of time and you're just like, you need to get that last one. I think a lot of us are like that, where we're really kind of OCD about doing lashes and we just want to get that, like, one more lash, and you're running out of time, but you just want to get that one more lash. I am 100% like that. I'm not happy unless I have like as close to 100% coverage as humanly possible. I've actually not made Premade fans yet, but I don't judge people that do, and I'm not against them. I just haven't done it. Because another thing is, I like billable time, right? Do any of you have a preferred Premade volume lash brand? I do not, because as I mentioned, I have not used any. If I were going to use Premade fans, I would make my own. So for those of you that are a little bit unaware of the terminology, Premade fans are fans that come in a box that are pre-made already for you. Premade fans are the term that some techs gave it when they make their own fans and glue them, pre-glue them, and keep them in a tray for use on their clients. I think they wanted to make the distinction between pre-made and Premade because they didn't want to be like roped into the same group as just the pre-made fans that you get from your manufacturer. Does that make sense? So that's the difference between pre-made fans and Premade fans. But nowadays you can get Premade fans from a product supplier. It's just that probably the owner or a trainer of that brand Premade those fans instead of getting it from a manufacturer. But that's trust, right? You have to trust that that's what they did and they're not just getting pre-made fans from the manufacturer and calling it a Premade fan. Does that make sense? Amy says, me too, perfectionist and always critiquing my work. Yeah, and we should be kindly critiquing our own work. Naoko says, okay, so I meant pre-made brand. It sounds like I have to make my own ahead of time, of course, when I know how. Naoko, you don't have to. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to pre-make your own. You don't have to use Premade. Do what is right for your business. And as long as you're clear with your clients about what you're using, then you're not misleading anyone. Like if you are using pre-made fans, then you just name it something differently so that people don't expect that you're hand making your fans. There is, like I said, a bit of a divide in the industry because I think a lot of people who make their own fans, they feel like pre-made fans take the artistry out of doing lashes or making volume lashes. And I mean, they're not wrong. Neither side is wrong, but it just comes down to what works for your business and whether or not you're misleading your customers. Does that make sense? I personally feel like if you want to learn how to do handmade volumes and you want to cut your time by using pre-mades or Premades, you are selling yourself short because you will get dependent on using pre-mades or Premades, and so you will not get good at doing handmades as quickly because you won't give yourself the opportunity to hone your skills. Does that make sense? Like I said, I don't judge people that use Premades or Promades, but uh, I don't, I do prefer it when people have already taken a volume course so that they know what thicknesses and what how many to use. I don't think it's a good Joy says I don't think it's a good habit to pro make all of them first. You build a lot of speed learning to work on your client at the time of appointment. Exactly what I mean. You kind of rob yourself of the opportunity to practice under a time constraint. So I'm not saying that you never get good, but it takes you much longer to get good than if you immerse yourself into it and just force yourself to do it. It's like my kids are in French immersion, right? Most kids learn French in Canada in school, but they won't learn it as quickly as the kids that are in French immersion because they're completely immersed in it. They have no choice. And Naoko, I'm sure when you take your volume course with Liz, she will go over all this as well, because I do find that oftentimes Liz and I have the same opinions on things. So I'm sure she will explain all of this to you when you're ready to take your volume course with her. You know, this is getting quicker for me. Practice really does make progress. How's it going with practice, guys? Melissa, have you made a fan that you would actually use yet? Vivian says, I had my lashes done by a friend and she was faster doing her own fans than picking out pre-mades that work for my lashes. Okay, yeah, fan immersion, exactly. Yeah, because picking up the fan, even if it's a pre-made fan, does take a little bit of getting used to as well. So this is like a really wide fan with a wide base. This base can be fixed when you dip. Exactly, fan immersion. Like you want to get all your practice in and not sell yourself short. How's it going so far, guys? Who is actually practicing along with me? Melissa, nope. I put the tweezers down. I was getting frustrated. Oh, don't get frustrated. That's why we practice, right? Hey, Mandy. Nice to see you, girl. I watched the replay of your live the other day on your brows, and I was like, yeah, I still teach people to measure their brows from their nostrils, because I find that that's easier if you're teaching people who are not professionals. Vivian says, I'm not. I'm just watching the fan porn. That's awesome. Mandy, you missed the drama. There was a huge spider. Hey, Susan. There was well, you know what? To be honest, it wasn't that big, but it was like big enough for me to freak out. It was probably the size of a nickel. It's 7 a.m. here, still in bed. What about you, Mandy? Oh, that must be nice. But you're up early. I'm usually still sleeping at 7 a.m. How's it going for you guys in Australia? Nose danger? I don't know what that is. Oh, for measuring brows, right? Is that like a racial slur? Not a racial slur, but like a slur, derogatory term for people that measure brows with the nose. Can you do a fan dipping session one day? Yeah? Like, do you mean making a fan and then dipping it in the adhesive? Is that what you mean? If so, then yes, absolutely. I just don't have any adhesive in here with me. Yeah, and I think we've run out of fanning techniques to do, so what do you guys want to see next time? We can talk about adhesion. That's a little bit harder to show. Waiting for government assistance to kick in. Yeah, I heard you guys aren't that bad at, like, I heard the States was pretty bad with running out of different funding for businesses. Canada's been pretty good. Vivian says, or dipping in different ways, like just the tip. Is that what you mean? This is how you dip just the tip, Vivian. Is that what you're talking about? And this is how you dip the whole thing in. And I have to say it with that voice, right? Oh, like a ring on tape, bubble, tray, or stones. Yes, absolutely. I have all those things. Absolutely, we can do that. You know, before this whole lockdown happened, Vivian and I were talking about doing a meetup. No, like, warning. Huh? Mandy, I don't know what you're saying. Melissa says techniques on how to lash in layers for the perfect top line. Yeah, we can definitely do that as well. Some people don't see in layers. It's hard for them to know. Definitely we can do like a perfect top line type of lesson. It's a little, some of these things will be a little bit more difficult because it's online, but we can definitely try. That's for sure. You called it nose downer. She meant nose danger? Like stranger? I don't... Oh. It's too early for you to... Yeah, it is, Mandy. I'm surprised you're up. Oh, like warning. Danger. Okay. But I still don't understand what you're saying about nose danger, though. Please explain. Man, there's so many like helicopters and airplanes outside my house right now. I can hear them. Measuring from the nose for brows. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little bit slow today. I think that spider really like did a number on my psyche. Okay, so far Vivian says we should do a live on different adhesive holding and dipping, like different ways to dip and hold your adhesive, which we can totally do. Melissa says working in layers, which we can totally do. Anything else? How about measuring measuring brows with the nose, Mandy? We can do a live on that. It actually is one of the easier ways to teach clients who aren't makeup artists, though. But I don't do it from the outside of the nostril. I do it from the inside of the nostril where it connects to your nose, so it doesn't make that really far apart brow. Joy says, what's your favorite surface to dispense adhesive onto? Example, cup, tape, or stone. I use... Okay, this is my personal favorite. When I use my eye gel pads, it comes in a little plastic tray, and I cut that up, and I use that little, like, I can't explain it. I'm gonna go grab one. Okay, please hold. I will be right back. I'm gonna go grab one and I'll show you. Okay, I know this is gonna launch into a whole other discussion. So I brought a few things. And Joy, I know you work off the forehead just like I do. So when I use my eye gel pads, it comes in like a plastic tray like this. Okay? So I cut them with scissors into like a little well like this. And that's what I use to dispense my adhesive. So, and I know a lot of people won't agree with this part because it's so close to my face, but I actually use a respirator mask, like one of those ones that looks like a gas mask. But when I set up my palette for my clients, this is one that I used for like a TikTok video. So these are these are fans that are on leg hairs. So I did this for a TikTok video. These are leg hairs that have volume fans on them. So this is show you more. Yes, I will show you more. So these are like adhesive wells that I bought. I'm Extreme Lash trained, and so when I was with them, I really liked these adhesive wells. But I don't use them for adhesive. I flip them over and I double side tape here, and I stick it onto a face towel. Okay. And then I double side tape sometimes here and here, like a T, and then I stick my lash strips here to work with, and then I stick that little adhesive piece that I cut off here, and then I put that towel on top of my client's forehead. So if you are not wearing a proper mask, you should not use this technique because this ends up being right under your nose, so you're breathing in all the fumes from the adhesive. Sorry guys, Facebook kicked me off for some reason. I don't know what happened. Okay, so anyway, as I was saying, I will start from the top. Joy. When I get my under eye gel pads, it comes in this. I cut it into like a little chunk like this, and then this is how I set up my palette. This is the palette I use. Double-sided tape here, and then I can actually show you on a Kleenex, because pretend this is a face towel, because this is about the same size, a little bit smaller. I fold it in half, and then I double-side tape this palette on like so, and then pretend that's taped on there. And then I drape this over my client's forehead, and then I stick my strips here and here, whatever I need, depends on how many different sizes I'm using. And I have a double-sided tape across here where I stick my well, and then I have a little bit of blank space here of double-sided tape in case whatever on-strip fanning method I'm using isn't working and I need a little bounce pad area. Then I'll just use this extra little bit of double-sided tape here as like a bounce pad to fix my fan before I place it. Like, so I'll like pretend this is on their forehead, fan it, dip it, and then place it on my client. Does that make sense? Hey Amy, welcome back. Sorry about that. And somebody was saying, yes, these are very long leg hairs. They are not mine. I did these fans on my husband's leg hairs, and we did a TikTok video. So that is why I have these ginormously long hairs. But I just, the fans were so cute that I just couldn't throw them away. So that's why I still have them, because I'm kind of weird like that. So anyway, back to pinching. Is anyone still practicing? Because if not, I'm kind of like bored of this now. Do you guys get bored like I do? Like, I think we've been going for close to an hour now. So another thing that we've been discussing is what topic to do next. I think eventually I will do a topic of what I just told you, like how I set up my clients and how I set up my palette. But what other live do you guys want? There was one about different ways of placing your adhesive. Hey Viv, welcome back. And there was one about different layers. Is there anything else that you guys want to see or practice together? I don't claim to be the best at everything. That's not the point of doing these practice sessions. It's just like we're all isolating anyway, so we might as well just isolate together, separately together. and get some practice in, right? Because otherwise, if it wasn't for these sessions, I wouldn't be motivated to get practicing, to be honest. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I just wouldn't practice on my own if it wasn't for these sessions. I guess it's like accountability, right? You guys hold me accountable. Any questions about pinching method? Who actually uses pinching method? I'd be interested to know, because I do know some people that do, but I don't think any of them are here right now, because if they do, they probably maybe don't need to practice like I do. I feel like my hands get more tired quicker too when I'm doing pinching method. I could be like overthinking it. I feel like I'm getting quicker at this though. We'll do a couple more. I don't know if you guys can still hear me or anything because nobody's commenting now. So can you guys still hear me? Holla for Adala. Joy says, does anyone here stack 2D fans with flat lashes? Really digging it for clients with not many. Yes, I've been doing that. I'm testing out the Eyelash Addict ultra flat lashes on myself, and I am testing how many I can put on myself before they start damaging my lashes, because I love them, but I want to know how much is too much. Amy says, I have no motivation. Just petting my dog and watching you fan. That's productive. Yes, absolutely. That's productive. It's something. Oh, that one totally fell apart. So Joy, yes, I have been testing on myself, stacking flat lashes. I want to make sure, like, my own lashes are pretty weak and wimpy. So I just want to make sure that it's something that I can handle before I put it on my clients. Yes, ultra flat lashes are my favorite. I'm biased. Yes, you are a little bit biased, but I'm not. And your guys' flat lashes, I've tried flat lashes before I tried yours. And yours, okay, let me explain. There's going to be a review coming out, and spoiler alert, you guys already know that I like these flat lashes, but are they the ones with 2 times 5? You know, I looked at them under the microscope, and I ripped them apart under a microscope, and they didn't look like they were 2 lashes stuck together. I mean, they do, to the naked eye, look like they're 2 lashes stuck together, but they look, when I ripped them apart, they didn't rip apart like they were just 2 lashes stuck together. So I don't think that these ones are 2 lashes stuck together, but they look like they could be. They're kind of like a bow tie shape. I have a video that I made showing a really close up of them. I'll stick that in the comment section so that you can see what it actually looks like under a microscope. Stacking how? Stacking, Melissa, I put one on and then I'll put the other one on. So I'll kind of like angle it so that it's, hang on, let me see if I can illustrate. So I'll put one on like the natural lash here, and it's kind of like a bow tie shape. So you want the natural lash to nestle in the divot, okay? And then typically, I mean, I can't see that well when I'm doing it because I'm testing it on myself, but I'll just like get a second lash, and I'll stick one on top and one on bottom so that but like angled out a little bit so that it fans out just a little bit. Or sometimes I'll just, but is that how you do 2D with flats? No, you can, I was about to say, sometimes I'll just wiggle technique and I'll just fan out 2D, because fanning out 2D is not that hard. But when I do that, I make sure that the base is like super pointy. Right? So you can just 2D it like you would 2D any volume, but just I make sure that the bases are both stacked. Okay, I'm gonna move you guys to my other tripod because I think I'm done with practice. Hang on one sec. Let me just make sure no cables are going to break. Okay. Okay, we're back. Okay, so if you guys are watching the replay, or if you think about other ideas later, or just want to say hi, please do it in the comments and I will check all the comments and answer your questions. I'm going to post all the tweezers and products that you guys saw today. I'm going to, Joy, for you, post that video about the ultra flat lashes and what they look like. We're going to look into doing a video on different surfaces to put your adhesive and different dipping techniques. Naoko says, thanks for taking a long time to do this. I learned a lot. Good, I'm so glad. If you guys learned a lot, please feel free to leave me a testimonial that I can use. You can just put it in the comments and then I'll screenshot it, or I'll like copy and paste it or something. Liz says, thanks, can't wait for the first half and replay. Thanks for doing great live. You're so welcome, you guys. Thank you for being here. Like, it would be not as fun to talk to nobody, so I'm glad that you guys showed up. And thank you guys. And like I said, leave messages in the comments and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys. Have a great day.